Hey everyone, Dylan here. Welcome to night 2 of the what do they call it? The spectacle of spectacles or something stupid like that. Welcome to night 2 of WrestleMania. So before I get into the review, I meant to say this like yesterday, just for my sake, nobody else's sake. So WrestleMania is really important to the significance of this channel, as well as several other pay-per-views will be, because in 2019 I was going to do the first review on this channel, either this channel or on the other channel that I'm not going to name drop, and obviously I didn't go through with it due to being late, blah blah blah. But every time WrestleMania season comes along, it reminds me of that in 2019. So it's got a little place. You hear that? Right there in the heart. Sorry. All right. Without further Dylan stalling, let's get into the night that arguably was better than the first night. Ready? Oh, what the pa. So we start off the first night by seeing Cody Rhodes' bus, and yet no Cody Rhodes, because apparently he's locked himself in the bus and nobody's seen him since his loss the previous night to The Rock. Then we see Damage Control and Bayley separately arriving earlier today. And after that, Michael Cole welcomes us to Mania, and we get, the hype package and, narrators saying, oh, blah, 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 presents WrestleMania, Mania. It starts out with a pre-show that lasted 2 hours long. Also, I think, tonight was the night that there was a pre-show, but I didn't watch it because it's not important to my canon. No, because there's just a lot of wrestling to watch right now. So if you want to know how that is, just watch it yourself, stinky. After the hype package and narrator guy, we see Drew and Seth getting ready for their matches again separately. Then you hear Samantha Irving? I'm sorry, I have a strong southern drawl. She announces the War and Treaty to play God Bless America for the second night. And just shout out to the guy. I don't know if that's War and or Treaty, but shout out to him, honestly. He stole the show, how his vocals sounded. After that plays, it gets a USA chant, and then we get Stephanie McMahon returning, which is wild considering the modern climate of the word McMahon. I never thought I'd see her back in the company and, did her exodus. But yeah, welcome back. Before I get into it, if she comes back and sounds like how she sounded tonight, I will never get tired of hearing her voice, as long as she's not like the Stephanie McMahon character. But anyway, she hypes up every WrestleMania she's been a part of, basically, since the beginning. And she announces that this is the first WrestleMania under the Paul Levesque era. And that gets a little pop. And then she hypes up the crowd and asks them if they're ready. No, I said, are you ready? And then she tells them to suck it. She says, welcome everybody to night 2. Like I said, she did great at hyping up the crowd without making it about her. You can tell she missed being in front of the crowd. There was a part of her that missed this. You can very much so tell. Like I was saying, she wasn't her normal, heel self that's all it's all about me, blah, blah, blah. So she said just enough tonight to make me want to see her more, honestly. So just for that segment alone, 4 stars. She did her job. Great way to hype up the crowd. The God Bless America was beautiful, etc., etc. After that, we hear Scotland the Brave play, and before Punk is even introduced on commentary, he ain't having none of it. In case you don't know, that's what Piper used to come out to, so that makes sense why he's like, ugh, Drew, come on now. But, more aggressive and more punkish. And after that, Drew comes out with a group of swordsmen lining him up to the ramp, Undertaker style, from WrestleMania 20 with the torches. And Drew looks like money during this entrance. I fucking loved it. They give a weather update, which, by the way, tonight, in case you were curious, it's warmer than yesterday. Seth then gets a group, I think they're called the Philadelphia String Band Association, and he comes out in a costume, a different one than the night one. I had to think what came before 2. It's been that long since I've slept. Anyway, when the match starts, Drew hits him with a Claymore off the bat, and I swear, if they literally hit the Claymore 1, 2, 3, I would have gave this 5 stars, no questions asked. After a brutal back and forth for a bit, which includes a headbutt, which I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I think it concussed both of them. Drew ends up hitting 2 more Claymore kicks for the win, and he ends Seth's title reign. 4.5 stars. This title reign, it meant a lot to me personally because I'm a big Seth mark, but also like there's something about, I've mentioned it twice now, probably maybe more, but there was something about the night in November. That's what I'm going to call it. The night in November that I saw WWE live, that it just took me out of reality for a second. And Seth was the champion during that time, so him losing the title, it's the right call. But me personally, I was like, oh, there goes that. I knew it had to happen eventually, but there goes that. Yeah, so I give it a ranking 4.5 stars. Afterwards, Drew goes over to the announce table and starts crawling across it like a cat. And then he sits right in the middle of it, cross-legged Punk style, and starts gloating it in front of Punk. I think he ends up slapping Punk and then stands up to taunt one more time, and that's enough for Punk to snap. He pulls him off the table by his legs, he hits the back of his head, and then he beats the shit out of McIntyre. I think he hits him with his medical brace too. And then that causes Damian Priest to come out and cash in on him. Record time, in my opinion. Freaking, that bumped this match up to 5 stars as a whole. Holy shit. That was a great way to start the show. Michael Cole tries to censor himself for a holy shit moment. He goes like, holy, like that. And Pat McAfee says, shit. That made me pop. Priest comes to the ramp, and JD, the whole group, is waiting for him. They're celebrating, and Punk's on the announce table just clapping the whole time as Drew's in the ring upset. I love this show so far. I can't wait to see what's going to happen as far as like the fallout from this event. I know there's a Raw that happened last night. I haven't watched it yet, so I still got that to review eventually. Which, by the way, it may be up today, it may be up tomorrow. Monday's review of old Raw may be up today. Just give it time. It may not be up. Give it time. It's WrestleMania week. Things are thrown off. After that, it shows a behind-the-scenes documentary for this WrestleMania. And I know me as a fan, I'm going to watch that. But, again, this might be like the Slammies and the Bray Wyatt documentary where I just come on here and say, hey, if you're a fan, you should watch it. Here's the important moments. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the world holds. Anyways, we come back from ad break and we see Roman Reigns coming into the arena. The next match is a 6-man Philly street fight between the Final Profits and the Hurt Business 2.0, with Snoop Dogg on commentary and special guest referee for the street fight, Bubba Ray Dudley. Makes sense. They are in Philly, so, ECW. Honestly, Snoop Dogg's commentary made this off the bat +1 star. He said such wild things that you're like, you know what? Yeah, but also, what the fuck did you just say, Snoop? This crowd was on fire, and Scarlett and B-Fab took a crazy table spot. The Hurt Profits hit a was up on Karrion Kross. I had to think which one took it. And the match ends with Montez Ford frog splashing Karrion Kross through a table after the first one broke on a botch. And I'll give it 4.5 stars. It's a great match. Great show. Already significantly better than the first show, in my humble opinion. Holy shit. After that, we see the pyramids, and we're in Egypt, apparently. Nah, it's just Bayley coming out. Not to Paramore, sadly. That makes me sad, but hey, that's okay. Bayley looks like $1 billion tonight. She has one side of her head shaved, and she got it pulled back at the same time. And then she has it dyed like blue and purple. Hell yeah, it's a look. Have I mentioned she looks like money? Because she looks like fucking money. Speaking of money, Io Sky comes out afterwards, and the entrance alone, it's so simple, but just the way the graphics looked and how the sky was, it looks so sick, and I'm so mad that this is just going to be used for her title reign, because that could be her permanent thing, and it would be so awesome to look at. Yeah, if I had to rank entrances, I would say this one's A tier easily. I don't know about the rest of them. I'm just whatever, but this one specifically gets called out for A tier. During this match, the crowd brings back the, gotta get the singing vocals on. They bring back the, hey, Bayley, ooh, I wanna know if you will be my girl chant. And I fucking love that shit. Don't know if they've been doing that for a while or not, but that was awesome just hearing that one again. Bayley ends up winning this crazy, crazy match, and I've never been more excited for a title change. Off the bat, we get technically three title changes just right off the bat. Congratulations, Bayley. Io Sky had a cool reversal during this match. I think Bayley was going for the Rose Plant or something, and when she's going down for it, Io pushed her hands off the mat and did like a forward spring. Sick ass reversal. 4.5 stars. Congratulations, new champ. After seeing more celebrities tonight, we get the Philly cheerleaders, and they do like a big pom-pom thing in the middle. And then when they pull him back, we got Big Snoop back again. And he just comes out to say the attendance for tonight, which was 72,755. I don't know if that's a shoot or just a WWE attendance. And then he gives the two nights combined together at 145,420, which gets a pyro to it. But, I guess we can't have pyro at the start of the show. Michael Cole gives a weather forecast. I didn't write that one down. I guess it's hot as fuck. Then we have a plug for the main event coming up. They do a video package for it. During this package, things that I spotted, that there was pictures of the Young Bucks and Chris Jericho. That threw me for a loop. This Triple H era is something magical, man. After that, we get Cody coming out with the sickest prelude that he's arguably ever had in any promotion. I don't even want to describe it. Just look it up on WWE's YouTube channel. It's so sick. And they even brought the Cody, Vader, and Brandy back. I don't know why I worded it like that. Bring Brandy back. Well, she's been there the whole time. Okay, whatever. After that, Roman has this killer entrance with people singing him out, similar to what he did last year. Today, he's at 1,316 days as the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, which puts him in number 4 for the longest title reigns in the history of the WWE, counting the WWF, the WWF, etc., etc. The only people ahead of him are Bruno Sammartino, somebody I forgot, and Hulk. Oh, wait, no, he's number 4. So Bruno Sammartino, somebody I forgot, and Hulk Hogan are the only people who have had longer title reigns than Roman Reigns tonight. He also, tonight, broke the record for the most main events held by a competitor. I think The Undertaker had it prior to him. That is crazy to think about. He somehow has beaten The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania, by the way, ironically. They list off all the competitors he's beaten. I think there was 31 total, but they only list a handful of them. Daniel Bryan and Edge were listed by name, which is so crazy. And then during this match, right, they have a somewhat fair back and forth fight with weapons coming out for about 30 minutes. And then when Cody has the advantage, Jimmy comes out and super kicks them. That prompts Jay to come out. He gets his entrance, and then Jimmy runs down the ramp. They have a little back and forth that leads with Jay spearing Jimmy off the side of the stage onto some tables, which, by the way, if they ever do, like, crazy moments in video packages again for, like, the entrances, that needs to be in one. Holy shit. Later on, throughout the match, Cody spears Reigns through the barricade. That also should be an entrance, fan-made or WWE-wise. And Cody ends up hitting him with 2 crossroads, and then Solo comes out and spikes him. Cody kicks out of a Samoan spike, and he kicks out of a spike and a spear combo. He's going Super Cena mode. Speaking of the devil, after that, Cena comes out and gets rid of Solo, and then he gives Reigns an AA to get revenge on him. And then he gives Solo an AA through the announce table to take him out. And that makes the final boss come out in new gear from the previous night. Cena gets in the middle of the ring, and they have a stare down back and forth, which, as The Rock's coming up the ramp, he cusses Cena all the way out of the building. Cena tries to do the "you can't see me" punch at him, and The Rock ends up ducking the punch and giving him a rock bottom. Then he pulls out the weight belt, and during that time, the Shield's theme plays, and Seth Rollins limps his way to the ring. Unfortunately, Reigns knew which side of the ring Seth would come from due to their past, so he ends up spearing him. And Seth came in with a chair. Crucial detail. The Rock's ready to whoop Cody with the weight belt, and then the dong happens. And then it happens again, and Street Gear Undertaker pops up behind The Rock. The Rock turns around. Taker's like, you know what I mean? And he gets a choke slam instead of a tombstone. And then the lights go out, and The Rock and him are gone. It would have been awesome to see Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Or maybe even Hulk Hogan, just for the concept of all the goats of the WWE in the ring at one time, from past, current, future, the big faces all together in one ring. But in second thought, I really don't ever want to see Hogan again at Mania. And as far as Austin, well, he got his foot stuck on a glue trap, so that's why he couldn't make it. Roman Reigns gets up and he grabs a chair to hit Cody, but he pauses for a moment and he looks at Seth, who's trying to get up, and then looks over at Cody. Then he nails Seth with the chair. Seth sells it the same way Roman sold it whenever he got hit in the back with the chair. Cody takes that distraction to hit 3 crossroads on Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes pins Roman Reigns for the first time since 2019, for the first time in 1,316 days. The undefeated, undisputed, universal WWE heavyweight champion of the world has been defeated. Even while I'm saying this, it's hard not to get choked up, so you'll have to forgive me if I have to take pauses. But this was such great storytelling. I've been here more than less throughout it all. Through the rise of the tribal chief, through the bloodline, through Sammy and the bloodline, through bloodline civil wars, through you name it, I have been here. And to finally see what is the end of an era pay off right in front of us. It was hard not to get choked up. Speaking of getting choked up, Samantha Arvine gets choked up while announcing that Cody's the winner, and it was so cool. Shut up, Dylan. Alright, we bask in Cody celebrating with his wife over his win, and then after that, a couple people who have mattered to Cody's story came out to celebrate with him, and they hold him up, as well as Cody's family. During this time, Corey asks, what does this mean for the bloodline? And Michael Cole just tells him straight up. He said, who gives a damn about the bloodline? Which popped me so hard. To finally truly finish the story, he ends up handing Mama Rhodes the title and poses with her, which is a nice little heart-wrenching moment. It's sweet. Now that the story is complete, what does that mean for Cody Rhodes? Well, actually, the story's not complete, because after that, he gets on the stick, and he demands that Bruce Pritchard and Triple H come on down to the ring. It was really touching at surface level, just see Triple H hug Cody Rhodes, like, aw, this leader of the new regime putting his stamp of approval on this man. That's freaking sick. But if you're 90% of the people who've kept up with this story, like I was/am, and have followed him from being released to going to Impact, wrestling in WCPW, joining the Bullet Club, saw him destroy the throne at All In, go to AEW, and then come back. If you knew all the meaning behind the lyrics of his song even, and all the fuck Triple H things he used to say just jokingly, then that hug wrapped up almost like a 10-year-long story that you've been waiting to see. I feel oddly empty and complete at the same time after this. After they hug, more hugs are dispersed for everybody, including even Michael Cole. He ends up getting one. Then after that, everybody who's not Cody disperses from the ring to give him his moment. As Seth Rollins is leaving, him and Cody shake hands, and then he tells him something. I don't know, it didn't pick up that well on the camera. Michael Cole, what he does best, he just speaks from the heart. As Cody's walking up the ramp, you can see him hug everybody, including Stu the cameraman, shout out, and Nick Khan. Now, I might be in my feelings over this, and I watched it 2 times live. I watched it live, and I watched it yesterday just to make sure I still felt the same way. 5 stars. 2 5-star matches in one night. That's crazy. After that, they kind of play a recap of the show, and that's how we end it. So what would I rank Night 2 of WrestleMania? An argument could be made for a 5-star show, but unless I've already ranked a 5-star show, I don't think I have, but if I have, I want my 5-star shows to mean something. Again, argument could be made for this to mean something, you know what I mean, but I'm going to rank it 4.5 stars for now. As far as it's concerned, I would say this is like one of, if not the most significant WrestleManias in a long time. The only one I would argue is maybe on the same level as WrestleMania 30, and that's just maybe nostalgia speaking. All right, thank you all for listening to Dylan. Sorry, thank you all for listening, though, in all sincerity. Like I was saying, this is WrestleMania week, so things are going to be a little screwy Louie around here. Shout out to Louie. I don't know why you're screwy, but I digress. A old Raw review will either be up today or tomorrow, and last night's episode of Raw will either be up today or tomorrow as well. So if you want to tune in to either one of those, any support, tuning into those, subscribing, commenting, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to force you, but whatever you want to do, if you want to do, I would appreciate it. Anyway, I'll see you for the next video. Bye!